A lot of people are going to be out of a lot of money soon. Now, how soon exactly, we can get into the more specifics. I'm not saying tomorrow, I'm not even saying the day after that. But what I want to break down today is what I believe is going to be one of the best videos I've made to date on the channel. I want to hit you guys with the value up front, and then I'll hit you with something else on the back, if you know what I mean. So what I want to go over today would be again, we talked about this in the previous video, but we're going to talk about the modern day waifus, why I believe that that is in a speculative bubble. We're going to back that up with data. And then I want to show you why I believe that that is in a speculative bubble, why other people in the community believes that's in a speculative bubble, why the majority of the content that is centered around the Pokemon investment space and stonking space, why I believe there's some of that information that's wrong right now. We're gonna dive into a lot of it today. So let's get started. Hello, beautiful people. Captain Zach Sparrow here. I hope you're having a great day today. I want to reward any newer viewers who are watching now, in case you don't care about me or the channel or anything. I want to hit you with the data here in just a quick second. I just want to set the scene for you so you understand where I'm coming from and where the market's currently at. So again, in previous videos and in the most recent video, we walked over more of the macro landscape on the current macro environment, like the economy, like everyone getting tax returns earlier in the year, as well as the giant Chinese introduction to Pokemon as well, how Japanese cards in particular, but cards across the board are going up. Like these waifu cards have been going up for months now. Why has that been? Why has that been the case? And a large chunk of that is FOMO and speculative buying right now. Now, you could say, well, Zach, there's demand driving up the price. That's what it comes down to. But yes, is it speculative driven demand? That's what I want to showcase for you guys. And I want to show you some older cards, specifically from older sets, how rare they are in comparison to these modern day cards. And I'm telling you, you guys you're going to be blown away by some of this information here. So anyway, I know I don't usually do this. I've got my data here. Actually, for once, I might get up at one point because this is my second time trying to record this. And I need to make sure that my phone's actually recording because it's been acting weird lately. So anyway, hopefully that doesn't throw us off too much. So let's start with this data. And one thing that I want to let you guys know, and it's not saying, oh, I'm so great, you just need to shower me with loves and hugs and kisses, although I would appreciate that, especially the hugs and kisses. I don't you just like being loved on? But I want anyone who is new, they might have already left. Anyone who doesn't talk about this information right now, and well, most do not talk about this information, and I'm pretty confident it's centered around probably only like 2 or 3 things, which would be like, 1, the content creator doesn't simply know this information. 2, they don't care. Or 3, they don't want you to know, or a combination of those things. So let's just get started. Okay, let's set the scene with these modern day cards. So I look at modern as still like Sun and Moon block onward. Some people are starting to say like, more like mid Sun and Moon, more like Sword and Shield era, moving forward. Regardless, Sun and Moon is not that old yet. So Ultra Prism, Lillie Full Art, PSA10s, recently sold $2,450. $2,450. Now, here's why I believe that's wild. There are 723 PSA10s right now. I just got this data for you guys. I got some fresh, hot, steamy data for you. I know, I don't always do this, but I wanted to give you guys specific, up-to-date data. There are 723 PSA10s right now out of 1,552 graded Lillie Full Arts from Ultra Prism. That's bananas. That's over 46% of PSA cards that were graded for this card. 611 of those 1,552 total, 611 of those are PSA 9s. That's over 39%. When you add up the PSA 9s and the PSA 10s together, get this. That's over 85% of those Lillie Full Arts. That's over 85% is a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. What does that tell us? They're stinking easy to grade. They're super easy to grade. Now, one thing, if you're already watching this far, you might already be typing an angry comment. Don't get angry just yet. Just hold that anger. Hold that anger inside. Release it later and it'll be more ferocious. It'll be much more impressive. I'm not against modern. I love investing in modern. In fact, look at the rest of the channel. I talk about modern a ton because it's new, it's exciting, it's unprecedented. You haven't seen the newest thing yet. It is. It's great. I like investing in it when it makes sense, when I think monetarily it makes sense. This does not make sense to me, and we're unpacking why. Let me check the video really quick too. Gotta make sure. Oh, we're still recording. This is great. Okay. Yeah, so that's the Lillie Ultra Prism right now. That's the full art there. Yeah, and as far as like modern is concerned and everything, again, I love investing in modern when it makes sense. And I believe like all these top 5 Pokemon investments videos, like where they're saying, hey, you should, you know, we'll dive into that later. I've got something to say about that too, if I remember. I already recorded this video. I might miss some good tidbits here. Stinks. So, Sun and Moon base. Now we're moving back just a little bit further here. We're good. We're looking at the Lillie full arts, all right? The number 147. PSA 10 recently sold $950. So another $1,000 card, but recently sold $950. Again, this data I got today. PSA 10s. 797 of these cards are PSA 10s. There are 2,137 of these graded. PSA 10, that's 37%. It makes up 37% of all the PSA graded cards for this particular card. Over 45% are in a PSA 9, 974 of them. That's over 82% of all of these graded cards. So from Ultra Prism or base, you could have sent those cards. You could have bought 10 Lillies and sent them in. 8 out of 10 of them would have been a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. Think about that think about that for a second. Think about this. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Zach, they're popular, it's cool, it's newer. All right, let's look at the Torterra Lv X. I know a lot of you don't know that card. You've never heard of that card before, and I can tell you right now, I can tell that you've never heard of it before. This, I don't have my notes here. Let me scroll. Shoot, I thought I put it on there. Oh, well, anyway. This card came from base, Diamond, and Pearl. This was the first time that Level X cards were introduced as well. That's unprecedented, isn't it? Level X cards are pretty cool. There were pretty cool Level X cards, actually. But the Torterra X, this particular, this one, it's Torterra, right? No offense if Torterra is your favorite Pokemon, but let's look here. PSA 10s. There's only 58 of them. There are 58. PSA 10s are going for only $1,000 right now. There are 58 of them. There were over 700 Lillie Ultra Prisms, and there were over 700 of the Lillie Sun and Moon base. Over 700, well over 700. You've got 58 of these Torterra Lv X's, 58 of them, and they're going for $1,000. Older, check. Rarer, check. Minter, a wash. Okay, I know you might be thinking, all right, Zach, not exactly what I would say like a traditional full art card. All right, I got that data for you here too. What about the N full art? That's from Black and White Noble Victories. I'm pausing here because I want you to be thinking like, oh yeah, this card, if you look on TCG Player, it's been going up. It's been going up for a while now, for weeks, I think even months. It's been sneakily going up here. And this is the information. This information I've given you, this Torterra Lv X card, this N card. Think about this for a second here. This N card and that Torterra card, how many videos have you seen where people are talking about this and why they think it is a good or not a good investment? It's not the new sexy thing. It's not modern Pokemon. It's not going to stonk out of the gate and you're not going to quadruple your money in 3 months necessarily. Although, this is what the truly savvy and sophisticated investors look at. I'm not saying that they're buying these exactly right now, and we're gonna further unpack as to whether we think that this might be a good buying opportunity or not for these particular cards. I'm telling you right now, I want you guys in this video to be thinking, what the heck? Why? How is he giving, no, not really how, but why is he choosing to give all this information away for free? Not locking it behind Patreon or some paid Discord or anything like that. This is what I want the channel to be moving forward to. I want people to watch this channel and to think, holy smokes, I haven't seen that. And hopefully this will also incentivize others in the community to start talking about things like this. I know this isn't being talked about at a large scale. Number one, it's not sexy. And then number two, I feel like the information is lacking out there as well, which is totally fine. Everyone's got their own angle and thing that they're interested in. And it is really easy to get more views on a modern, whatever the new modern hot shebang thing is. That's cool. I get that. But anyway, in full art, you're looking at 44 PSA10s. There are 44 of them, and they're going for under $1,000. Under $1,000, and there are 44 of them. And they're decently hard to grade. And it's way older. All right. So I know what you're thinking too. And don't you worry, waifu lovers. I've got you covered too. Let's look at the Skyla full art. Which Skyla full art, Zach? That's a good question, actually. Let's look at the black and white boundaries crossed Skyla full art. There are only 18 PSA10s. This is going to rock your world. This part right here. Someone clip this or something. There are 18 Skyla PSA10s. There are 18 of them. I want you to think just for a second. Like, think in your mind what these are going for right now. It's a waifu. It's one of the first. If you start looking for these cards and you go back as far as you can, you're like, what's one of the first chase waifus that's like at the top of a particular set? This one right here comes to mind. There are 18 of them. 18! You can count how many PSA10 Skyla full arts for this set there are with only 2 hands and 2 tootsies. Think about that. All right, I'll tell you what it is. $2,000 shipped. That was the most recently sold. $2,000. There are only 18 of them. There, again, context, there are hundreds, over 700 of these modern Lillie full arts. Hundreds of them. Do you know there was a massive wave? Like what, a year and a half ago, of all of these base Sun and Moon ETBs that were shipped out again. Found in a warehouse, maybe soft reprinted or something. There was a massive wave of this. There's a reason why base Sun and Moon booster boxes are only going for like, what is it? Ah, shoot, I haven't looked in a while. Like 200 something bucks a box. Nothing insane. That's because they were printed a lot. All right, let's go ahead and move on to what I think is a little bit broader topic around this here. But I did promise in maybe the Discord, I promised somewhere that I would try to make this video more succinct for you guys. Let me check again real quick. I'm paranoid. All right, paranoid now. I don't want my video to be crashing on me. So we're still recording, that's great. So thanks for sticking this out here this long with me, fellas and gals and whatnot. What do we do with this information now? This is the start of how anyone who's been like on E4, Reddit, Discord servers, who's been around the scene a little bit longer, this is what they start to look at for where they see opportunities in the market. And a lot of people who've been in the hobby, longer than an introductory period of time, understand, hey, when a new set comes out, you start to see these price spikes, you start to see a lot of FOMO, there isn't as much availability necessarily up front, so you see prices start to spike, and then more supply hits the market, more Moonbryons hit the market, more Lilies hit the, whatever it is. More of that floods the market, and generally speaking, you'll see a dip or a flat out crash for that card, for that set, or both, usually both. And things will kind of flatline for a while until historically sets across the board trickle upward over time, or they'll spike upward for whatever reason. A lot of people know this. Now, with these Lillie full arts, I see this as mania and FOMO. And here's why. A lot of, and I'm not calling myself a super savvy investor or anything, but a lot of more experienced collectors and enthusiasts of the hobby just kind of innately understand this data in the back of their mind and understand a lot of these modern cards. It's flat out more populous. So there are a couple of things that need to play here. Either the prices will come down at some point, or the demand needs to so far outpace and outstrip these older, rarer cards to account for that discrepancy. Now, I know what you're thinking, Zach. Even though you pointed out a waifu card for us, a pretty doggone good one at that. Talking about Skyla here. The Lillie card is just better, man. It's just chef's kiss. It's just the stonkability, the modern day artwork is better, the texture of the cards even. We just like it better, Zach. And maybe that's true, but I also believe there's speculative driven demand for these cards, which is incredibly dangerous. And that's when as an investor, my hands are up and I'm like, whoa, I am out. And another thing would be too, with these modern day cards, yeah, they're modern and new and cool right now. But what I wanted to showcase was too, from like, we're looking at like in the black and white era, diamond and pearl and black and white era. And what I wanted to highlight was, that's in between. It's not base. You're not at the beginning and you're not at modern. It's somewhere in the middle where things kind of tend to get lost, right? They get shuffled into the mix, you could say. That was a good one on the spot. And again, people kind of forget about it. Now, this is where it gets tricky and interesting and nuanced. And this is why I love this stuff and why I wanted to give this data to you guys. I need to be careful here with like how we go about this. In the future, do I think that there will be more modern product that is even as exciting or more exciting than these modern day cards? If the Pokemon company, if there's just not a collapse of some sort, yes, I expect that even. So why on earth would I be putting this money into these modern-ish stonker cards when I have the data that I'm looking at right now? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. And maybe some people, what they're trying to do is they're trying to do some swing trading. They're trying to do some momentum trading, catch some of the upswing in some of these cards, getting in while the market's hot and understanding that they might be able to flip that in the future. That's all well and great. Maybe they have more data than I do, and I'm not even trying to say that to be facetious. Like maybe they do, and maybe they're looking at a different angle. But the data that I have and what I have historically seen time and time again is, I think people are a bit FOMO-licious right now, so to speak. So is that what the kids say? Does that make sense? Let me know if you guys like this type of video. I do want to try to cut this a little bit shorter here. I know I'm starting to get long-winded again, but there's nuance here. So in the future, 5, 10, 15 years from now, do I think that these sets are going to be looked back on with grace and people are going to cherish them? I do. To what degree? I don't know. I firmly believe the data that we have, I firmly believe that we're going to have to see a pullback on this and or an increase on some of these older, rarer cards that, in my opinion, are stinking cool. They're like, looking at the cards, I still think they look cool. Have you seen that end card? Have you seen that Skyla card? Like, look at them. I think they're cool looking. So now, if they're not as new and flashy as the newer cards, but will there be newer and flashier cards 5, 10 years from now? I think so. So again, keep that in the back of your noggin when you're looking at stuff. I'm a fan of investing in modern when it makes sense, when the price is right. So here are a couple of things real quick of what I think makes more sense to be investing in, if you will. I like getting value wherever I see value. So knowing this kind of data here and understanding, hey, there might be some value and some buying opportunities on some of these cards. Maybe not. There also maybe a buying opportunity in some modern sealed product as well. I'm always looking for that. I love investing in sealed product. For example, V-Star Universe on the Japanese side for some of you guys who may not follow that scene as much. I think that's a great pickup right now. You guys saw on my Instagram, if you follow me there, that I just recently picked up a case of V-Star Universe. So there's a little peek behind the curtain for you guys. And I just want to let you guys know all of this data and all this information. Put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. So yeah, hopefully this was valuable and informative to you guys. Again, if you guys did enjoy this video, just let me know, and I'll try to make more videos like this for you guys. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and watch another one of my videos. And until next time, I couldn't think of an outro like the first time I did this, and I can't think of one now either.